Om Sadashivasamaramabham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. This is all, no? Now continuing the same idea in terms of the knowledge of the self. Okay, that remains same. Any questions, clarifications on what we have done up to now, or it's all clear? Yeah. I know there may be some degrees of clarity coming in. That's okay. Yeah. Sometimes a Vedanta class also becomes like a martial art class. Why? Let us say there is this martial art class. There are white belts, the beginners, and there are black belts. Those who have gained a certain degree of competence. All are practicing kicks. Chalo, 500 kicks. Normal for a martial art class. The white belt is picking up the basic skill of kicking. The black belt is working on his timing, placement and things. Same class, practicing same thing. So same thing happens in a Vedanta class. You're being introduced to it, you are understanding nuances. Same happens, same text, same thing happens in the class. Okay. All right. So he says, continuing further. Aham brahmasmi karta cha bhoktas chasmi ye viduhu te nashta jnana karmabhyam nastika syuna samshayah. Now this verse is an Arthavada verse, a critical verse. Arthavada means praise or criticism to highlight something. Praise or criticism to highlight the importance of something. That's called Arthavada. It's a style of writing in Sanskrit. Okay? You have it in English also. Certain things will be praised to show where your heart is, to show what is important. Yeah. Like if you are a gymmer, going to a gym, say, you must eat some fruit extra, okay? At least one fruit a day for fiber is necessary, minimum. Okay, I'll eat a banana. Don't touch it. Say, what does a poor banana do that I shouldn't touch it? 100 calories. That's not bad. That's like a cup of tea. What their thing is, they're highlighting the fact we are supposed to go on low glycemic index food. And banana is not one of that. So it's praise or criticism to highlight something. And you have to understand it in that context, not take it literally. So here is a verse like that. Here is a person who says, Aham Brahmasmi. Yeah, it's clear for me, I am Brahman. At the same time, I am Karta Bhokta Cha. Karta Bhokta Cha Asmi Yevudu. Now what is Karta Bhokta? The Ahankara. Your notion of yourself. What we say, the ego. Now what is the ego? You have a sense of I. Self-evident, no? If you know what you are, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, Satchidananda Swarupa, no problems. If you don't know that, you'll have notions about yourself. Because I am is there. You don't know what I am. Therefore, you're bound to have a notion. There'll be a notion about it. This notion is called the Ahankara, indicated by the term Karta Bhokta. I do something and I enjoy the result of it. I do something, suffer the result of it. Both ways it can go, isn't it? Because action means consequences. You can act only if you're a finite entity. Because what is action? Minimum. There should be a choice and chalanatmakam. There is some movement. I'm coming from here to there. Something, some movement, some. For all that implies what? That you are a finite entity. So here is a guy who says, yeah, I know, I'm Brahman is clear. Then, but I want that. I'm going to do that. I want that thing. But I'm Brahman. I don't need all that bhakti stuff. I'm Brahman. Ishvara is not different from me, you know. But at the same time, you're karta bhokta. Your sense of finitude is there. Te nashtaha karma jnanabhyam. Te nashtaha, they are lost. Jnana karmabhyam. Nastika syuhu. Na samshaya. There is no doubt about it. He's a nastika. Meaning he has not understood the pramana. Okay. Astika, Nastika is a term used in Vedanta or Indian darshanas. Who's an Astika? A believer. Nastika, non-believer. But it is not with respect to Ishvara that we are using that term. It is not with respect to God that we are using the term Nastika, Astika. And Astika is someone who accepts Veda as a pramana, as a means of knowledge. And Nastika is someone who doesn't accept Veda as a pramana. Okay. So he says, why? See, if you understand the truth well, if you don't worship, it is fine. But then you are not going to stand up on your head to get something. There will be no that longing for the sense of fulfillment. You'll have desires like, what do you prefer, tea or coffee? Tamil Mahatma. Coffee है हर hotels. Punjaban Mahatma. अरे जब दूध पी सकते हैं तो कॉफी क्यों? We can have a cup of milk. Why should I drink coffee? Cultural. This is purely cultural. Yeah. In North India, I lived a lot with the Mahatmas and all. You know, Kumbh Melas, whole Kumbh Mela there. Ritualistic bath, bam bam bole, and all that stuff. Guys, there was a time in my life like that. You know. So. That's cultural differences. Those desires are not what we are calling desires. A desire is something where in the fulfillment of that you feel happier. In the non-fulfillment you will feel sad, unhappy. That's what is a desire. Whether you want tea or coffee is a big thing. That's not a big deal. Now, if you know the truth, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. Then these binding desires will not be there. These desires which limit you will not be there. You're free. You're Ananda. And why do you have a desire? In the fulfillment of this, you expect to be Ananda. Expect to be full. It gives you a temporary clearance also. Yes, it gives you some temporary joy. But then the ignorance comes back. Ignorance is already there. So that joy gets covered up. And then you're back to normal, back to base. So, this type of binding desires will not be there if you know the truth. If you are karta bhokta, if you are a finite entity, then you will do a lot of things to gain a lot of things. I work hard, I play hard. Many of us have gone through that phase, no? I'll work hard, I'll play hard. Yeah, because I want things in life, yeah, come on. I'm not expecting a fairy godmother to give me that. I'm not expecting my father-in-law to give me anything. I will get it myself. Very good. Excellent. Yeah. People say there's a bride market in India. There's a bridegroom market. Okay. Because he's asking for things. If you give me, if you are in Bihar, etc., if you are an IAS officer, your value goes up. The marriage market, even now it is there, is slowly fading out with the new government policies, new industries coming up. 20 years back, what was the cottage industry in Bihar and UP? I know because I have travelled in these places. Cottage industry was kidnapping, holding people for ransom.
And cultivate.
Yeah. I had a student, a doctor. His father was a priest and a landlord in Bihar, off from Patna. He would land in Patna. His father would have sent a car with 2 bodyguards, armed bodyguards. Why? बड़ा बाप का बेटा है, डॉक्टर है, ransom, good target. Remember Dr. Jha? He was a guy. Manisha knows him. Anyway, that apart, that karta bhokta, that I will get it, comes from a sense of finitude. It's ambition, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. We are not against desires. But we are pointing out desire is a symptom of a lack. A Vedantin will not say desire is the cause of all suffering. Therefore, don't have desires. You will pick up a new desire that I should not have desires. And new guilt that I am having desires. Don't have desires, advice doesn't work. Of course you have desires. How can you not have desires? If you have a sense of finitude, you will have desires. Yeah. Desire by itself is not wrong. It is a symptom of a lack. So if you take yourself as karta bhokta, you don't know the truth. If you know the truth, you are no more karta bhokta. So many students find themselves in between. No? We all found ourselves like that, in between. Correct? So that's why we say, don't be an astika. As long as you feel a sense of finitude, some of these things the Vedas says are good for you. No? Some this thing. Evoke that bhakti. Because I have desires. Now I must need a certain maturity to be free from the hold of those desires. So how do we get that maturity? Karma Yoga. There is no secular Karma Yoga, sorry. You want secular Karma Yoga? Go attend a stress management workshop. और क्या बोलेगा? And most stress management workshops don't work beyond a point. Why does it not work? I'm digressing a bit, okay? Why does it not work? Because how are you looking at stress? If you even look at it psychologically, your stress is a physiological and a psychological response to a stressor. Technical definition. What is the stressor? Oh, anything can be a stressor and nothing need be a stressor. Correct? Nothing need be a stressor. So what is the stressor? Want a common definition, right? Works across the board. The gap between what you want and what you have. That means your desire is your stressor. Literally. Because there is a gap. This is what I have, that is what I want. So, what type of stress management will handle this thing? You can say, do some pranayama, do some meditation, do some this, do some that. Change your response. Yeah, but I want it. I want it and I happen to be working with it every day. That's all on top of it. Problem scenario. So, the desire is an issue. Need not be an issue. Bring in Ishwararpanam, Prasada Buddhi. You accept, you work for what you want, accept the result as Prasada. But for having Prasada Buddhi, you need a sense of devotion. That first Ishvara is there. I do the action, results come from Ishvara. Minimum this much. Ishvara is the whole order of things. He is not distributing packets of grace. This guy is devotee, therefore for extra de dega. This guy, no. What you do, you get. Ishvara provides the infrastructure. He provides the result through his laws. Totally impartial. You go to the fourth floor. One is a criminal, the other is a saint. Both of them jumped. Both of them will come down at 32 feet per second. Impartial. Oh Lord. Then he goes up. I was a good man. Why did you do this to me? You don't deserve to live on earth. Come here. Yeah, as simple as that. Lord is very fair, no? A politician died and he went up. So, the gatekeeper looked at it. Oh, you're a politician. Yes, is there a problem to come into heaven? No, there's no problem. But because you're a politician, you're given a choice. What is that choice? You can spend one day in hell and then heaven and then decide where do you want to be. Why can't you make a decision right now? No. You spend one day in hell, one day in heaven, then you decide. Okay. So first, take your choice. Where do you want to go first? Heaven? Okay. So, peaceful, nice. You know, people are singing songs of God. So, okay. The Monday in hell. Do you have to? Yeah. There's wine available, there is song available, there's dancing going on, there's a golf course there. People are having a great time. Then he comes back. Okay, have you decided where you want to be? Well, I never thought I would say this, but I'd prefer to be in hell. Why? You know, I expected hell to be fire and brimstone and sulfuric fumes and all that thing, and I found this. Okay, go. Then he goes there and he finds the devil waiting for him. Bakra aa gaya na? All fires of hell and this and that, all that thing. What is this place? It was not like this yesterday. Yesterday was the election promises. Today you have voted. Very fair, no? What he's been doing all his life. God's structure is very, very fair, no problems. So karma phala. So prasada buddhi, Ishwararpanam. How will you have that prasada buddhi if you can't accept prasada here? You accept prasada here, then you extend it to life, that I will accept everything as God's grace. Somewhere you have to start, no? No. I am Vedanta. I am a Nirguna Upasaka. I was staying in Haridwar in one of the ashrams, and there was no rule in the ashram except the fact that you have to attend the evening arati in the temple. That's all. The rest of the do what you want. Do what you want. So we used to go study here, go for bhiksha. They didn't give food also. You go for bhiksha, this, that, etc. Study, go for your classes, this, that. They give you a place to stay. Place to stay was what? One room. Luckily, it had 2 cots. So Uday and I would stay there. To kill it. And go for Bhiksha. Evening Aarti would come. So I had a junior coming over for one night. Come stay with us. I'm a Nirguna Upasaka. I don't. One whack on the head. Yeah. Nirguna is meant to be known. Nirguna means one which is free from all gunas. The truth, the reality. It's meant to be known. You don't worship Nirguna. You worship Ishvara. Nirguna is meant to be known, understood. So until you understand, your Karta Bhokta, you take the fact that you are Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman in good faith, with some insights, with some understanding, work on that understanding. Otherwise, you'll become Ubhaya Prashta. What is Ubhaya Prashta? Neither here nor there. Dhobi ka kutta in short. Na ghar ka na. There's an expression for those who are not from India. There's an expression which says, this is a dog that belongs to the local cleaner, and we have people who clean this by hand. The clothes are all by hand. So there is a ghat, an area where they are supposed to do that. A tank or a riverbed or something. So there's a dog that follows him and he'll give the dog scraps of food. But he doesn't belong to the ghat. He'll follow the dhobi home, but he can't be at home because he is not the owner of that dog. So he's neither here nor there. That's a literal expression. Okay, dhobi ka kutta na ghar ka na ghat ka. So that is the issue. You will become lost like that. So Shankara says is Nastika. Because he has not understood the truth. Plus he has given up all the things that the Veda enjoins as worship, etc. So what are you then? You have not understood the truth. So that Upanishad Pramana is not there for you. You are not doing a little bit act of worship, etc. Therefore that is also not there for you. Not that you have to do everything. No person can do everything that the Shastra says. No person need do everything. You take what is applicable to you and do it. It's always a small sector. Everything is not meant for everything. This guy is a singleton. No plans of getting married. He is supposed to do a putra kameshti. A ritual for getting a child. Problem ho jayega. Unless he wants to be a single parent. That's a different thing. Then adopt someone. So, everything is not meant for everyone. Technically speaking, I am not supposed to do any ritual, okay? Well, you are a sannyasi. You have given up all rituals. Nahi karne ka. That for Loka, some Kalyanam, etc., we will do something for blessing society, For that sake, we will do something, but we are not supposed to. Rituals for a brahmachari is different. For a grahastha is different. For a single person, for a householder, it is different. For a vanaprastha, it is different. Vanaprastha is a retired person. Sannyasi is entirely different. So, nobody has to do everything. Everybody has to do something. That's how it is. Nobody has to do everything. Everybody has to do something. So there are guidelines in the Shastra and the teacher gives what you do. That's why when they are having that discussion, yesterday I asked, is everyone doing everything? You can't do everything. You are not meant to do everything. Yeah. So, this is how you be as a student. Otherwise here, if you think, oh my God, I am lost, neither here nor there. Yeah, this he is being critical of those people who have given up this but not yet got there. Therefore, even when we live in Rishikesh, where we don't have a thing to do a puja and things like that, but there are always ashrams in the temple, we attend the arati in the temple. That much worship is there. And the arati is elaborate. Arati is elaborate. Yeah. And after the Arati, they will chant the Shiva Mahimna Stotra. So you will sit down. So the whole thing will take about an hour. So 1 hour of worship is there. Because you don't have the means. You are living on Bhiksha. Where are you going to get lamp, oil, karpura, flowers? Paisa nahi hai. You don't have. You get some dakshina for when you go for bandara, so उसमें toothbrush, toothpaste आ जाते हैं. What about hair cream, hair oil? You don't need it. Why? Shave it off. That's how the shaving thing came in. Shave it off. Every time, alternate one, go shave it off. You don't need oil and shampoo and things like that. That's how I lived. So what are you talking about? Puja stuff? Prasad rako. Prasad kya kuch nahi hai. We go get prasad in Kshetra. Dal roti in the morning, roti dal in the evening. Yeah. And the rotis are so good, you can send it to the Leather Institute for research into alternate for leather. But not to worry. You can soak in the dal. There is plenty of water. So it will become fine for eating. That's how you live. That is our worship. But Swamiji, you all are religious people. Do you keep Ekadashi? Ekadashi fast? The day we get food, we eat. The day we don't get food is Ekadashi. What Ekadashi? No rules, no regulations. Hey, it's a religion of freedom. If you're a sannyasi, it's about freedom, not making 101 rules. Sannyasi should do this, should not do that. Kahan se aaya aisa? From where does all this come? Society tries to make rules. The sannyasi should be like this, sannyasi should be like that. Go fish. Yeah. But if you're not that is because sannyasa lifestyle is meant for owning up the truth and nothing else. You've got sufficient insights. Now you live a life of contemplation, of immersion, like how you all are doing here. This happens day in, day out. Immersive experience. And what's the difference? The food. Morning tea, mid-morning tea. And the villagers who come to Rishikesh will recognize this. I remember, I'll never forget this lady, elderly lady. She waved out to me across the road, old lady. So I thought she needed help to cross the road or something. I was in white and it was a winter evening. Okay. So I said, हाँ माजी रास्ता cross. नहीं बेटा, ठंड है ना, एक चाय पी लेना. And she gives me 1 rupee. I said, so sweet this is, So I said, हाँ, मेरा माँ याद आया. I said, जाके अभी चाय पी लेगा. She was so thrilled when I said that. Because that's how our life is. If you can live like that, the knowledge will become yours very easily. Because you need nothing. You are independent, not dependent on anything. And you are immersing yourself in this knowledge. So we give you a taste for that in the camp. But with nice food, everything. Comfortable rooms. Everything. So that, but immersive. That immersive experience remains. That's what a camp is meant for. To immerse yourself so that the knowledge soaks into you. But we need some bhakti, we need some this, because we still have that karta bhokta feeling in us. No? Because that karta bhokta feeling is there in us, that I am karta bhokta means I am a finite entity. The ahankara, the ego, the notional self is strong. A notion of who you are is strong. So because of that, you need to do that. So some ritualistic part and lot of studies part, things will work out fine. Then you will not become an astika. Otherwise you will be neither here nor there. Okay. Dharma phalai yogaha दृष्टो अदृष्टो यतात्मनः शास्त्रात् ब्रह्मत्वमपि यस्य मोक्षज्ञानात् ततेष्यताम्. Now this verse is addressed for that time when people accepted something very naturally. What is that? Dharma dharma phalai yoga. Your connection with dharma and adharma. Dharmic actions, adharmic actions. One to avoid, one to do. So the dharma went more than just universal ethics. The minimum that dharma is universal ethics, cutting across cultures and religions, cultures, nations, religions. Because honesty is universal. You said that as a Hindu, I am supposed to be honest only to a Hindu, not to a Muslim. No, honesty is honesty. Applicable for him, applicable for me, both. Universal. Justice, love, compassion. All these are universals. These are universals. Minimum. Minimum dharma is this much. Meaning of dharma is minimum this much. Then dharma also applies to your duties. As a parent, I have some duties. As a child, I have some duties. As an employer, I have some duties. As an employee, I have some duties. As a junior person in a office setup, I have some duties. As a boss, I have some duties. Every role that you have has a script, flexible script, flexi script. That script is your duties. And when everyone does their duties, rights also come. You can ask for them also. Provided you have done your duties. You can agitate for your rights also. Provided you have done your duties. MSP demand by the farmers. Make the country broke. For short term, for some things you can have, not for everything across the board. The joke is the next farmer agitation, because this is not going to stop here. This will die down by the time elections are over. Next elections they'll start. You know what the demand will be that time? The government should try for Canadian visa for all our sons. Because the poor farmer asking for minimum support price is driving a Mercedes and coming there. A Mercedes SUV and coming there. Which most of us here can't afford. Okay, jokes apart. If I do my duties, I can ask for my rights, not the other way around. Dharma. Then there are certain religious injunctions, Vedic injunction, which is also dharma, to take care of my life hereafter. That is why the question of drishta, adrishta comes in. Seen result, unseen results. Seen result, you know, all your worldly activities will give you seen results. This young lady I may remember coming to me. Somebody, I want to get married. I said, why are you in a hurry to get married? You're barely 20. It's important for me to become a mother. I want to become a mother. And she was a chartered accountant in a prestigious firm, top 5 in Bombay. And I said, okay. I said, what's the problem in getting married? No, something is just not working out. I said, you're smart, you're good looking, you're young, you're well educated, you're everything. Any man will be happy to have you as a bride. It's not happening. Huh? Okay, here, Swayamvara Parvati mantra. Chant karo. Within 1 year, she was married. Drishta phalam. Because of, now what is the connection between the mantra and her getting married? The mantra chanting creates some punya. That punya is adrishtam, you can't see it. That changes your fate, it adds to your fate, therefore whatever obstruction was there goes away and you get married. Drishta phalam. Because of adrishta punya. Don't ask me for English translation in Punya. The closest people use is merit. But merit is not Punya. Merit is not Punya. Dying with your boots on, lot of Punya. You will go with to heaven, to higher dimension. Because you died with your boots on. You died doing your duty. Fine. So this is Drishtaphalam, Adrishtaphalam for hereafter, most of them. Most of it, Adrishtaphalam is for hereafter. Heaven, I don't know. I take it on good faith. So those days it was accepted. The dharma part, punya papa, etc. was part of normal acceptance. The culture was like that, everyone accepted, correct. No good action goes waste. You will get the result for it, here or hereafter. No bad action also goes waste. You will get your consequences here or hereafter. Simple as that. So I pay my price or get my reward and then come back here to pick up the threads again. This was accepted. So he says on the same way, he says, Shastrat Brahmatmatvam. That Brahman and Atma is one and the same. The same Shastra that talked to you about Punya Papa that you have accepted so naturally, not today's world. Today's world it is easier to accept Brahman and rather than Punya Papa. Because culture has changed. This is talking about and Yasya Jnana Moksha. When you know that, so take it in good faith when you start. He is talking about a starting point. You're taking it in good faith. There is some logic given. Tatha Ishyata. It has to be taken in good faith like that. And you start off. Then see whether it works. Even nowadays, many of you have come to me with an issue. I said, this is karmic. Go. Meet Ravindra Bhatt, my astrologer friend. Okay. He said, there is this problem. This Rahu is this Ketu is like that. That is the astrological paradigm. Okay. But don't worry, there is a solution. Do this. You do, and it works. I mean, you tried out of a little bit of desperation, that's okay. If you tried it earlier, the problem would have been solved earlier. But you waited because you tried other things, it didn't work, therefore, said, okay, nothing to be lost except some money. So try it out. You tried it out, it worked. So, similarly, you attend a class, all that you seek is yourself. Tell it to the birds, I want so many things here. Why do you want it? For the sake of fulfillment. Fulfillment is, okay. Some insights I am getting. That's how you start, isn't it? So he is mentioning the starting point here. That's how you start. Based on some amount of trust. I wouldn't call it faith or belief. Some trust is there. Why? Because this is logic. There is some sort of logic available and there's some trust. You try it out and see whether it works or not. Remember, a pramana has to be established by itself. A means of knowledge is established by itself. That your eyes can see, is it established by your eyes or is it established by something else? Do you use inference? I see a red color there, therefore my eyes must be seeing. Do you use a logic like that? I see here red color, or I don't see. Not very clear. I see. Yeah. It's clearer now. Okay. I have to get my eyes checked. Maybe I don't need this. Okay. It's equally clear. Yeah. Or maybe my number has gone up and I need something stronger. Most logical explanation, there's some dust on it. Yeah. The idea is, the eyes see or don't see has to be proved by the eyes itself. If the Shastra as a pramana prove it works, then I will enter it. If this is like, this character went blind. There is no treatment available. He was very young when he went, 15-year-old. Parents took him here, there for a lot of treatment, none of them worked. Okay. Did some puja part also, that also didn't work. Okay, nothing worked. 20 years later, they discovered a new surgery which is applicable in this guy's case. So there's nothing to lose. I tried so many things. Last 20 years anyway, I didn't try them. Chalo, dekhega. You went. So the surgery went off well. I is bandaged. And on the 5th day, the surgeon came, opened the bandage. Sir, open your eyes and see. I have been disappointed very often. Prove to me that I can see and I will open my eyes. If you are in India, the doctor will say, I guarantee you. Mera guarantee hai, you will see. In the West, can you say that? You'll be sued. I assure you, sir, there is good chance you will see. The operation was very successful. There was no infection or anything. Please open your eyes and see. Prove to me. How do you prove to this guy? Why? Unless he opens his eyes, he will never know whether he sees or not. Olden days, you could force the character's eyes open. Yeah, see. Nowadays, patients' rights, you can't do that. Sometimes the pain being a doctor or a therapist compared to the freedom that we all had. I know, I ran a hospital for 4 years, I know what is involved. It's quite a pain nowadays to be a doctor. Are you seeing what I'm saying? The eyes have to prove. Same way the Shastra, you use the Shastra and see whether it works or not. You see whether it works or not. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Junk it. Simple as that. Therefore, he says, take it in good trust, meaning be willing to use it and see whether it works or not. That way. That's all we are saying. Yeah. Are you getting insights into it? Yeah. In the first class, now I got some insights. First time I am coming to something like this, but still I got some insights. I mean, there must be something in it. Good enough to start off. या महाराजानभ्यस्ताः वासनाः स्वप्नदर्शिभिः अनुभूयन्ते एवेह ततो वन्यः केवलो दृशिः. या महाराजानः अध्यस्थः वासनाः स्वप्नदर्शिभिः. महाराजानः अध्यस्थः. The Maharajanah, great king, etc., being coronated, therefore turmeric, etc., yellow clothes, like your haldi ceremony, na marriage ko pehla mehndi, haldi, and all that thing you have. So there are ceremonies like that for Maharaj. So the cloth, the color of the cloth is white, but today it looks yellow. Why? Haldi and all has been applied to it. Those days, okay? Nowadays you buy a yellow cloth from the market and get it. Yeah. There was a time when you used to dye our own clothes, saffron. Using saffron color and alum, you would dye them. Nowadays you get it in the market. That's why it doesn't become exactly saffron. What is he saying? Yes. You are nothing but the pure consciousness. But your mind has been tainted by other things. Vasana, Swapna Darshavi, like the person in a dream. You have taken yourself to be other than what you are. Other than what you are. Anubhuyante eveha. Therefore, you have all sorts of experiences here. Tainted by ignorance, tainted, colored by ignorance. You have a sense of finitude, and you go about experiencing things exactly like in dream. Exactly like in dream. This guy had a nice 7-course meal. What is that restaurant in Chennai? I said that you should go to with Suresh. So one restaurant we said, no? 7-course South Indian meal. I told you I went with Suresh. I forget the name. How's this? Wow. You eat a meal there, you are only good for one thing after that. Keel over and go to sleep. Literally keel over, like a ship keeling over.
This was at that music academy.
Huh?
At that music academy where you were.
Yeah, near there, near the music academy, yeah. So you had a 7-course meal. And you went to sleep. And you dreamt that you are caught up in a drought-stricken area and not eaten for days. You are full and complete. For the next 24 hours, you don't have to eat. Literally full and complete. But what are you dreaming? Bikari hu, bhuka hu, I am a beggar, I am starving. ये हालत है. You are Ananda Swarupa. What are you feeling? कभी खुशी कभी गम. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're miserable. Yeah. Both are unpredictable. Oh, I met this girl and I thought I'll be happy forever. Then I married her, and then don't ask. Ask the girl, she'll say the same thing. This happily married ever after, na? It's a conspiracy. I'm joking, okay? I know a lot of happily married couples. Many of them here. Okay. I'm joking. ऐसा बोलना पड़ता है. Because once I remember a young girl after class came and asked me, Swamiji, you're really against marriage? I said, no, of course not. I want everyone to get married. Yeah, of course. Because there'll be one more house for me to say, Bhavati Vikshanti. Couldn't resist another joke on that. But jokes apart. Okay. Your experience of life of finitude, in spite of being Ananda, is because of all this he says, you know. Tata anyaha. You are different from all these experiences. Tato anyaha. Kevalaha drishihi. You are nothing but the seer, that consciousness, the one that objectifies everything. That's what you have to know, you have to discover. Don't tell me that's what I have to experience. If you are experiencing it, you are bringing it down to the level of other experiences. Unfortunately, there are spiritual teachers who present it as a spiritual experience. Felt the peaks of the Himalayas under my butt and I became realized. What do you realize? God knows. Yeah. It's a great spiritual experience, enlightening experience. It's like that story I used to say. My older students know this story. There used to be this guy on Chowpatty. Abhi hai kya nahi malum, I should go one day and see. I have not gone to Chowpatty for years. Ever since COVID, I have not gone to Chowpatty. Ye kya baat hai? Everything began before COVID or after COVID. Ye kya hai? You know, it has become such a landmark. Before COVID, after COVID. So this guy used to be buried under the sand. Complete, huh? 2 feet below. Wow, this is something. And he had 3 chelas around. They would spread a towel there and people would drop coins. So So I said I should meet this guy one day. So I said, when do you dig him out? He said, sunset. Okay. So one day when I didn't, sunset normally time was a class. Tuesday, Thursday, remember? Or Indira Kunj class. 6:45 would have the class. It's sunset time. I would start the class. So one day I went when I didn't have class. Especially for this. I said, देखने का ये champion लोग क्या कर रहा है? What are these characters up to? So the guy was buried. And then wait, 6:30 I'm there. So sunset, they dug him out. And massaged his hands. He was really in samadhi. Okay. It was very clear because unless you are in samadhi, you will not survive that. Because you are buried under the sand. There is no oxygen available. I'll defy all the great yoga teachers to do something like that. When they talk of samadhi. You do that, come and talk to me. I will not talk. Because for samadhi you will gain moksha. That's what yoga says. Forget it. So this guy came on. Then he's looking at that towel that is kept there. Khali 10 rupiya. Only $10. Then he sees me standing there. Babaji, dekhiye na. Have a look at this. There are 4 of us. $10. What will we get in Bombay? I told him, ये मायापुरी है. Come. I'll buy you a meal today. No? Babaji भिक्षा दे गए आज. चले आ जाएंगे. He's happy. So there's a small. That time it was a small little Irani shop. Ideal cafe. Some of those were in Bombay. Now it's a big sophisticated. Those days was a small Irani joint. So Irani joint, but now it's sophisticated. That time it was not. So you will get some dal, rice and sabji and of course all the non-veg if you wanted and this thing. So they had some happy with that. And I'm chatting with them. He has picked up the skill, the experience he has had. He actually goes into samadhi. But no knowledge. It is called Andha Samadhi. In Vedanta we call it Andha Samadhi. Experience, but no understanding. Then it becomes equated to all the other experiences. In Samadhi he was Ananda. Comes out, 10 rupees, $10. What is this? Miserable. Opens his eyes and he is miserable. $10, you can't even, what can you get in $10? Really, what can you get in $10? Even those days in Bombay. I'll tell you what happened, what you'll get in $10. 4 of us sailors were roaming all over we are trainees at that time, marine trainees. Marine trainees are broke all the time. Okay. So after that we went into a Irani joint like that. Said we'll have something here to eat before we go back to the ship. Something eat. We saw there chicken sandwich, $10. $10 chicken sandwich. Okay, all of us will share one sandwich. So ordered chicken. One sandwich, big sandwich chicken. So, oh, this is a big sandwich for $10, yeah? But one of the guys was smart. He opened the sandwich to see what is inside. There's some butter, some chutney, and slices of egg, boiled egg. Yeah. What is this? Manager. Chicken sandwich. What is this? So he speaks in his Hindi, which is like a Parsi. आप लोग मंगतराम बिस्किट खाएला है? Have you eaten मंगतराम बिस्किट? हाँ, बहुत खाया, डब्बा. You have eaten डब्बा of. When you buy मंगतराम बिस्किट, जब मंगतराम बिस्किट है, मंगतराम अंदर बैठा है क्या? Is Mr. Mangatram sitting inside the biscuit? $10 chicken sandwich. What do you expect? So you can see that guy, and we also miserable with that. What else you get in $10? So he opens his eyes and he's miserable. Hey, moksha is not like that. If moksha is an experience, it will become like that. Knowledge. When you know the truth, you're free. That is the whole idea. Okay? When you know the truth, you're free. Oh.